What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United in action in the Premier League again. Match day 19 against Newcastle, who are coming to Old Trafford tomorrow, 8 p.m. kickoff, and manager is Eddie Howe. And Eddie Howe has been Newcastle manager since November 2021. He's managed 147 games. He's won 71, drawn 36 and lost 14. He's got a win percentage of 48.3%. And of course before that he was managing Bournemouth, and then before that he did manage Burnley as well. And his first managerial team that he did manage was Bournemouth again in December, from December 2008 to January 2011. So he's managed Bournemouth twice. So in terms of our head-to-head last season with Newcastle, we did win against Newcastle at Old Trafford in 3-2. That was the scoreline in May 2024, but away from home Man United lost 1-0 in December 2023. So in terms of last season under Eddie Howe, they finished 7th with 60 points in the league. They won 18, drew 6, lost 14, scored 85 goals and conceded 62, and had a goal difference of plus 23. So in terms of United, Manchester United also finished with 60 points last season in the league as well. But of course on goal difference we did finish 8th, one place below Newcastle, because of course our goal difference wasn't good enough. I think our goal difference was -1 last season. So yeah, in terms of some insights, Manchester United have lost just one of the last 39 home league games against Newcastle, winning 28 and drawing 10, and our last defeat against them was in December 2013 under David Moyes. So Newcastle have won 2 of their last 3 Premier League games against United, losing 1, as many as they had in their previous 16 against them, and that was drawing 4 and losing 10. And Manchester United lost their last game of 2023 2-1 against Nottingham Forest. They've not lost their final league game in a consecutive calendar year since 1985 against Everton, and then 1986 versus Norwich. Newcastle haven't won their final league game in any of the last 7 calendar years, since beating Nottingham Forest 3-1 in the Championship in 2016. Their last such Premier League victory was in 2014 against Everton. No team has lost more Premier League games since the start of December than Manchester United, who've lost 4. They last lost more league games in a single calendar month back in September 1962. So our recent form, of course, in the Premier League hasn't been nowhere near good enough, unfortunately, and hopefully we can turn it around tomorrow, but I'm not kind of hoping for that. In terms of some recent form for Newcastle, they are coming away with 2 wins in the Premier League. They beat Aston Villa on Boxing Day, and then last week they did beat Ipswich Town away from home 4-0. Of course, United failed to beat Ipswich away from home in Ruben Amorim's first game in charge. In terms of the EFL Cup as well, Newcastle did manage to beat Brentford in the quarterfinals 3-1. They also beat Leicester before that 4-0 as well, and their last loss was on the 7th of December against Brentford, where they lost 4-2 as well. They did also manage to pick up a draw against Liverpool, a 3-3 draw earlier on in the month as well. So yeah, in terms of some team news for Newcastle, Trippier, Botman, Pope, Krath and Lascelles and Williams are all doubtful, or they're out for the game. But yeah, in terms of the opposition 11 for Newcastle, this is who I'm expecting to be lined up with. This is basically the same lineup as the lineup that featured against Aston Villa. The only change is Livramento coming in for Kieran Trippier. So Dubravka, Livramento, Shaw, Byrne and Hall make up the back 5. Then Gumaras, Tonali and Joe Linton as that midfield 3. And then up front you've got Gordon, Isak and Murphy. So in terms of how they play, usually they do set up in a 4-3-3 formation. Newcastle players constantly rotate during the build-up play as well. Eddie Howe's system, the striker Alexander Isak frequently drops during the build-up phase to create numerical superiority in midfield as well. Balls in behind. Newcastle's attackers constantly make aggressive runs in behind the opposition defence as well. Numerical advantage against the opposition backline. Another massive aspect of Newcastle's high build-up is their ability to create numerical advantages against the opposition's defensive line. Overlaps as well. Newcastle use overlaps as a key tactic to create goal scoring opportunities, and underlaps as well. They also like to flood the box with many players as well. So in terms of defending without possession, usually Eddie Howe likes to place much value on being aggressive without the ball. This shows in Newcastle's high pressure. He usually wants them to go man to man and intensely press the opposition as well. So Newcastle's base formation when defending, when they don't have the ball, is usually a 4-5-1 formation, and they look to set up in a mid to low block as well, always trying to close the centre and force the opposition out wide as well. So in terms of summary of their tactics, they like to make aggressive runs, positional relation to the lines. They like to use their wingers as well, Murphy and Gordon, as the outlets. 4-3-3 in possession usually, and then out of possession is a 4-5-1, whereby they with the wingers Gordon and Murphy, they drop back to make a 5 in midfield as well. Short-term pragmatism as well from them, high defensive line and a high press as well. So in terms of their star man, of course, it's going to be Alexander Isak. In 13 appearances in the Premier League this season, he has scored 11 goals and provided 4 assists. So that's Newcastle for you. They're going to be a very tough opposition for us at Old Trafford tomorrow. But yeah, in terms of Manchester United, we are coming away with 3 losses, unfortunately, 2 in the league to Wolves and Bournemouth, and then before that we did lose to Spurs in the EFL Cup, which was disappointing as well. Obviously, you don't want to be losing games. It's just disappointing with regards to where we are at this season. Even the new manager bounce, Ruben Amorim hasn't been able to turn the results around, and we still basically are where we were when we basically sacked Eric Ten Hag. But yeah, in terms of the performances against Wolves, Bournemouth and Spurs, they were disappointing. Not really much positives can come out from them, apart from against Wolves, whereby I think we looked better with 10 men on the pitch. But that Bournemouth game was dreadful, and against Spurs, I think we were a little bit unfortunate, but Spurs did kind of play poorly as well in terms of giving away 2 cheap goals from trying to play out from the back. But yeah, in terms of Man United team news, Shaw, Lindelof and Mount are all out injured, and then Bruno and Ugarte are also out due to suspension. They picked up, Bruno of course got sent off against Wolves, and then Ugarte picked up a yellow card against Wolves as well, so he's also suspended for this game. So in terms of United starting 11, this is who I've gone with. So Onana in net, of course, who has been shaky lately, Mazraoui, Dilip Martinez, and then Ahmad. I've gone with Ahmad at right wing back because we've seen Ahmad in the number 10 position recently, and of course he's been playing well. There's no doubt about that. He has been playing well in that position, but I feel like as if we've lost some attacking threat down the wing back position, and obviously on the left we've got Dalot there, and Dalot simply doesn't provide enough attacking output for me. He's not good enough going forward, in my opinion. So that's why I brought Ahmad in at the right wing back position. Then, of course, Casemiro and Mainu in the middle. Ugarte is out suspended, so Casemiro's coming in. Mainu keeps his place. Dalot at left wing back. As I said before, I think Dalot needs to improve his attacking output, in my opinion. It's not good enough. He isn't good enough going forward, and he needs to get better. Personally, I would go out in the January transfer window and just try to get a new left wing back. Someone like Ait Nouri, I think, would improve us so much. And then, of course, I would also even get a new left centre back. I don't think Martinez is that quality that we all think that he was or is. Personally, I think we would need to get someone like a Bastoni. That would be perfect for me. But yeah, in terms of the forward positions, going with Xerxes and Rashford and bringing Rashford back in. I think because you've got Bruno out, you've got Ugarte out, you've got Mason Mount who's injured as well. If Rashford isn't even on the bench, then I genuinely think that he's gonna be, his Man United future is up, and he's gonna get sold in the January transfer window. I think it will be that quickly. Basically, I think the club are basically gonna try to get rid of him. Of course, if he's not featured tomorrow. If he is featured tomorrow, then I think he's got some chance. But if he's not featured tomorrow, then I think that would be five games whereby he hasn't been in the Matchday squad whatsoever. So I think Ruben Amorim is looking for some type of response from him. Whether he gets that or not remains to be seen. I don't know. But yeah, in terms of, obviously then I've got Højlund up front. So in terms of United star man, of course it's going to be Ahmad. He's been a little bit quiet lately, the past couple of games, but like the entire team's been dire really, like the past couple of games. So I'm not gonna kind of say that he's been he hasn't been kind of on form lately. Of course, players come into form, they go out of form, and that's just the way it goes, really. With Ahmad, he has been a little bit quiet the past couple of games, but he can't be providing goals and assists every single game. There's 10 other players on the pitch who need to be kind of putting in the work as well in terms of offensive output. And hopefully Ahmad though can provide that attacking threat that we've missed at right wing back. Lately at right wing back, we've seen Mazraoui play there. We've seen, I think, Dalot maybe play there as well sometimes when Malati is coming at left wing back, and it's just not the same, really. They don't offer the same attacking output that Ahmad does at the right wing back position. And also, coming in late from that right wing back position from deep, there can be some space that can be got at if the opposition is pressing and then they leave gaps in behind, similar to what we saw against Everton where we won 4-0. I think Ahmad had a really good game that game where we won 4-0 against Everton at Old Trafford. But yeah, in terms of how do you beat them, of course, pace, power, strength, unpredictability. But I think finding Ahmad, Xerxes, Højlund and Rashford in 1v1 situations is going to be key. I think if we can isolate Ahmad down that right side and put balls in behind for him, or just through balls that he can run onto, and then take on the wing, take on the fullback, or take on the centre back or whatever. Get him in 1v1 situations. I think he can cause some damage there. I think use the 3 centre backs to build up your play. I think Mazraoui, De Ligt and Martinez is our best centre-back partnership, and I think if we can use that to our advantage like we did before when Ruben Amorim first took over, I think we were playing out from the back really well, even against losses against like Arsenal. I think even at the Etihad as well, where we won 2-1 against City, I think our build-up play from the back was pretty decent. So hopefully we can do that this game against Newcastle as well. I think careful on set pieces as well. We need to be careful from conceding against set pieces, because we're conceding far too many goals from them. Win your second balls in the box. Don't fall asleep, But yeah, in terms of other things as well, I think score early. I think if we score early, then we are most likely gonna go on to win the game, in my opinion. But that is if we score early. That's a massive if. But yeah, to be honest with you, I'm not confident about this game. Like I was previously. Like I was confident against Wolves. I think Bournemouth as well, Spurs as well, I was confident, and I wasn't confident against City, I wasn't confident against Arsenal, and then against City we did go on to win, but maybe I need to start predicting some losses and we might get 3 points, I don't know, but we'll see how that goes. Let's just take a quick look at the league table. It is looking very dire for us at the moment. We are in 14th position. Of course, we have lost 4 out of our last 5 Premier League games. Lost against Arsenal, lost against Forest at home, which I predicted us to win and we lost. I think I predicted us to lose against City and we won, but definitely predicted us to win against Forest and we lost. Predicted us to win against Bournemouth and we lost. Predicted us to win against Wolves. I think I predicted us to win against Wolves. I don't remember now, but we lost that game. But yeah, so we really need to be picking up some wins. We are in like relegation form right now, because if we don't, we are going to be in a relegation scrap at the end of the season. I think we need to secure the 40 points. I know it sounds absolutely insane, Manchester United fan or whatever, Man United talking about staying up in the Premier League, but that's just where we are right now as a club right now. We need that 40 points so that we can secure Premier League safety. I know it sounds absolutely insane, me saying that. When, years gone by or whatever, we have been fighting for Premier League titles and stuff, but like it's just dead right now, innit? Like we need that 40 points so that we can secure Premier League safety. I think Palace, of course, won today, but Everton lost to Forest, and then Wolves drew to Spurs as well. So Everton dropped points, Wolves dropped points, and then Leicester also dropped points as well. And Ipswich and Southampton are basically a little bit too far for us right now. But I think Ipswich. I think Southampton, of course, is definitely relegated. I think Southampton are definitely relegated. And then I think Ipswich are going to be joining them as well. And then I'm not sure the other team that's going to join them. But yeah, we definitely need to be securing that 40 points. But yeah, even if we do win tomorrow, we would move to 25 points. And then possibly we would move to 11th. Possibly. Yeah, it remains to be seen. But we wouldn't be finishing in the top half of the league, at the end of the year anyway. So yeah, it's peak, man. It's looking peak. It's not looking good. But in terms of my scoreline prediction, what am I predicting? I'm going to predict a loss, simply to try use some reverse psychology stuff. I don't know. I'm going to predict a loss. I'm going to go with 2-0 Newcastle. I think Isak is going to score both the goals. Hopefully I'm proven wrong, and hopefully we do come away with 3 points. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you after the match.